This is James Krasnerick here for Real Steel Sports. Hoping you are having a marvelous Monday evening, and hopefully if you're listening to this into Tuesday morning, I hope you have a great Tuesday as well. This has been one interesting NBA season, because you had things that go on this year that not many people really projected would happen throughout the league. I mean, I don't talk a whole lot of basketball here because, truth be told, I'm not as knowledgeable of the NBA as other sports analysts. I admit that. Like tennis and football are not my fortes, but I can do a little bit. Like at the beginning of the NBA season, you predicted. Here's the standings right now. Would you predict the Toronto Raptors to be in third place in the Eastern Conference and the Boston Celtics to be fourth to last? For the New York Knicks to be 2 out of a wild card race, but Charlotte to be holding the 8th spot? For the Portland Trailblazers to be 3rd in the West? For Phoenix to hold the 7th spot? And for the Lakers to be 3rd to worst in the conference? You wouldn't expect it. But the one thing that's been very consistent the last year has been Kevin Durant. Now, I'm a Spurs fan because, see, I live in Pittsburgh and there's no NBA team, so the team I like in the NBA is the Spurs. And I really got a glimpse of how good he really was in 2012 Western Conference Finals. Against the Spurs when the Thunder advanced to the NBA Finals. I mean, that series, he was magnificent in the series against the Spurs. I mean, he scored at least 30 points 3 times. In the final 4 games, the Thunder averaged over 100 points a game. And only one of those games did they fail to score 100, and it was the first game when they failed, when they only scored 98. So I've gotten a chance to see how good this guy really is, and I like the nickname Slim Reaper. I really think it's cool because he's skinny, but then again, you wouldn't think, looking at him, he wouldn't be that weak. He's so skinny, but yet he just dominates. Right now, he is pretty much the NBA MVP at this point, but honestly, he is the best pure scorer in the game right now. There's nobody in the game right now that can score as effectively and efficiently as he can because he's doing it from everywhere in the court. 11 games now, he's scored 30 or more points, and it's the longest since Tracy McGrady did it with 14 straight games in 2003. Tonight's game against the Atlanta Hawks, which allowed the Thunder to win their 8th straight game. He scored 13 in the 4th quarter, hit a 16-footer with 25.5 seconds left, and then hit a 12-footer with less than a second left. Actually, with just over a second left. 41 points in the game, and they trailed to 14 points at halftime, and he came back and led them. Right now, you gotta say right now, he's the best player in the NBA right now this season because he's just been unbelievable. I mean, the way he's been scoring, the way he's been playing some good defense. I mean, a lot of people are thinking LeBron James still has a chance to win the MVP, but let's put it this way: the MVP is season by season. Right now I think still the best pure player in basketball is LeBron James, but I would have to say that in terms of scoring and in terms of this season, Kevin Durant's been head and shoulders above just about everybody. If anything, what's making him play so well is the fact, Russell Westbrook's been out, and he's just stepped it up every single game. I mean, for Basketball Reference right now, and if you look at his game logs from the season, they're truly, truly impressive. I mean, In the last 5 games, he scored 54. He hung up 54 on the Warriors, hung up 30 on Sacramento, 46 on Portland, a big game in the Western Conference. Went to San Antonio, and they took out the Spurs with 36 points. Then he scores 32 against Philly. I mean, he's having such a dominant stretch right now. The MVP is pretty much his. I find it hard to believe that anyone's going to take it from him. And it's funny because you've got so many different great players in the NBA this year who have claimed the MVP. Whether, of course, you got the obvious, candidates like LeBron James, and then you got Kevin Durant, of course, who's finished second the last 2 years. You've got Paul George in Indiana. But right now, he's just been helping the Thunder roll. The Thunder have literally been rolling teams. They've been rolling through the Western Conference right now. And again, no Russell Westbrook. Imagine what's going to happen when Russell Westbrook comes back. Let's put it this way. I think they're going to start at best. The Spurs' last good chance to win a title with the core guys they have was last year. Because as good as my Spurs are with Duncan and Parker and Ginobili and Popovich and Gary Neal and all those guys, they're not going to beat the Spurs. They're not going to beat the Thunder. I've just been watching him pile on points, and like I said, I don't follow the NBA as much as some, but I do, wake up, watch SportsCenter before I go to school in the morning. I watch, the highlights before I go to bed, and all I see is him just putting up 50-some points on every team he plays. And I haven't seen anything like that since I've really been following almost all sports and been doing broadcasting. I mean, I've only been doing it for a couple of years now, but I've never seen a player put together a more dominant run than he has. And it's not that he's just been scoring, too. He's been playing some good defense. He's been blocking shots. He's been playing some good defense. He's getting some steals, and he's getting some rebounds. He's picked that part of his game up, and that's another reason why the Thunder are doing so well, because he's becoming a more and more complete player game by game. Like the first few years, he was, scoring a lot of points. He's pretty much just a scorer. He wasn't doing a whole lot else. He's really improved that in the last half year, and this season in particular, he's played incredibly well. He's been shooting so efficiently from all areas of the court. He's dunking like he always has, and he's just playing unbelievable ball right now. If you just look at how good he's been playing, again, 30-plus points in 11 straight games. And honestly, that streak's going to continue. I find it hard to believe that streak stops anytime soon, because the record is 16 with Kobe Bryant. The way that he's had to play night in and night out for the Thunder to win games, I think he's got a really good chance to break that and beat it. So if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he's gonna break that record easily. That is the first segment of my show for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll be coming back with the second part very shortly.